$9.99 million. For a lot of people, RPG Maker is a hobby, something they can use to create the games they've always wanted to play. But for other people, this is something they are using for game development and commercial purposes. That's why in today's video, I'm going to be going over how much money you can make with RPG Maker by comparing a bunch of the different top RPG Maker games and their estimated revenues. This is by no means like a top 10 list of RPG Maker games or RPG Maker games that have made the most money. These are not in any sort of monetary order. This is just a case study of different RPG Maker games and the revenues that they have earned. And if you love RPG Maker tips, tricks, tutorials, and just general discussion about RPG Maker, then scroll down and hit subscribe and the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. And now, in no particular order, Corpse Party is a survival horror game where a bunch of students are stuck in an old schoolhouse where they have to survive spooky, creepy things. Now, without getting too much into the synopsis, let's get into the metrics and the revenue. Using the tool SteamSpy, Corpse Party is estimated to have sold between 20,000 and 50,000 copies. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be going with the more conservative estimates, so we're going to be basing our figures off the 20,000 copies sold. At the current rate of $8.99, with 20,000 copies sold, that is an estimated revenue of $179,000. Now that's also not including the fact that Corpse Party has received multiple sequels and an anime adaptation. But just the standalone game, $149,000. Skyborne is a steampunk-esque fantasy traditional styled RPG, which is actually published by Dejica Games themselves. It's a game where you play as Clarinet Spencer, exploring a citywide conflict involving racial inequality and political intrigue. SteamSpy estimates that 200,000 to 500,000 copies have been sold on the conservative estimate of 200,000 copies. At a price of $14.99, the estimated revenue for Skyborne is close to $3 million. The Witch's House MV is a dark game. Adventure puzzle game with an estimated sales of 20,000 copies. Currently selling for $11.24 on Steam, we can estimate the revenue of The Witch's House to be $225,000. Mad Father is a horror puzzle game. God, everyone loves their horror puzzle games. You play as 11-year-old Aya, navigating your way through the strange, twisted delusions of your mad father. Now selling at $9.99 with an estimated ownership of 100,000 copies. SteamSpy estimates that Mad Father has received roughly $999,000 in revenue. Lisa the Painful is a game set in a world where all the females have either died out or disappeared. You play as a man who is searching for his adopted daughter Lisa, the last girl on Earth. Getting into the metrics of this one, SteamSpy estimates that roughly 200 to 500,000 copies have been sold. So at a price point of $9.99, we can estimate that this game has driven nearly $2 million in revenue. And lastly, of course, I'm going to mention this game, the game that has taken the RPG Maker world by storm, the one that when everyone mentions RPG Maker, they always say, "Have you played this one?" Of course, it is To the Moon. To the Moon is quite possibly the most popular RPG Maker game that has ever been created. And it's about a dying man and his wish to go to the moon. A science company can implant memories into his head and they travel back through his memories to figure out why he wants to go to the moon. Without getting too much into the synopsis, because it's a beautiful game and you should all play it, let's get into the metrics of the most popular RPG Maker game of all time. SteamSpy estimates that between 1 to 2 million copies have been sold. Now at a price point of $9.99, the estimated revenue for To the Moon is $9.99 million. Now, if you're using RPG Maker as a hobby, then you don't need to worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the money because this is your dream and your passion. This is something that fills you with joy. But this is a message I have for the people who are trying to use RPG Maker for commercial purposes. Not only is it something that can be done, it's something that has been done many times over. When some days you feel like giving up, just push through that and keep going. Because when you hear numbers like $9.9 million, $1 million, all from RPG Maker games, games that in most cases have had only one dev working on them. You can do that too. You've just got to be committed. You've just got to be true to yourself. And I hope this serves as the motivation for those who are using RPG Maker to make commercial games. I hope this serves as motivation for you to keep going, because you can do it. By the way, for those who haven't heard yet, the Discord server is officially launched and the permanent link is down in the description of this video. So if you enjoy what we do here, then scroll down, click on the Discord. We've got a wonderful community. And if you haven't clicked away from the video yet, I would really appreciate it if you scroll down and hit like. Please. Please hit that like button. That's all I live for. Please. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Do it. And if you love RPG Maker tips, tricks, tutorials, and just general discussion about RPG Maker, then scroll down and hit subscribe and the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a new video.